Hey guys, it's Rhea. So today I have my best of 2017 drugstore. So I've already done best of the year for high end. I decided this year, instead of splitting it up for parts of the face, to just do one high end and one drugstore. And that way, if you are in one budget or another, you can go find out the best of the best. Or you can of course look at both if you love all makeup like I do. So let's just talk about everything that was amazing from 2017 from the drugstore. And there was a lot. I am including some affordable brands that are not necessarily found at the drugstore because they're affordable. But let's start with some stuff that definitely is at the drugstore. So I want to talk about foundation. Let's get all of the foundation out of the way. I had no high-end favorites this year. Every favorite is a drugstore foundation, and I'm pretty impressed, drugstore. Like, good job, good job. So first of all, this CoverGirl Vitalist Elixir foundation. In Canada, it's just called the Vitalist Elixir. In the States, it's called Healthy Elixir. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I don't understand. But anyway, I love this a lot. This is just such a beautiful natural skin-like foundation. It looks so natural and pretty on the skin. It does oxidize. That's the only thing. Some people say it oxidizes. Some people say it dries down darker. I honestly don't really know what the difference is. I mean, I do know oxidation is like color changing, but I think they can kind of be grouped into the same meaning. So basically, go a shade lighter for most people, I would say. I would like to wear it in the winter because it's a little bit dewy for oily skin in the summertime, but I still think it's a fantastic foundation. The foundation I'm wearing today is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I actually have two shades in this one. Today I'm wearing soft beige on my skin. This one is very funny in some ways. So the applicator on this is a little bit strange. It comes out like this and it's a paddle applicator. This is slightly runny foundation. It smells like paint. Don't be alarmed if you buy it. It does smell like paint. But on the skin, as you can see, again, I feel like you get a lot of coverage. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said, but this I would consider kind of a medium full coverage. And I feel like the Wet n Wild is also kind of a medium full coverage. It covers up all the flaws that I want it to, but yet I still feel like it's very skin-like in the way it appears to others. This one here has become such a huge favorite. I love this foundation from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. Mine is in the shade Sand. I don't think they do near enough shades in this range. I know like in the drugstore when I bought this there was only 3 available. I know there's more options online, but still it's not enough. Again, the theme with these, I feel like they all look very natural and skin-like. This one definitely looks like real skin. But this is a little bit less coverage. This is more of a medium coverage foundation. This one has a pump. I think it has really good packaging. It's like this glass bottle, like frosted bottle with a pump. All 3 of these are really good for oily skin. I would say this one is probably the most dewy of all of them, and this could kind of almost be more for normal to dry skin, but oily skin girls can get away with it in the wintertime, whereas these are definitely going to be your friend if you have oily skin. I still have to blot and reapply powder throughout the day, but they last from morning to night without like melting off my face. Even in like the height of summer, I love both of these for longevity on my very oily skin. I was blown away this year by Hard Candy's Cushion Corrector. This is, it doesn't have a shade on the bottle. I think it's just called Peach. It's got a little foam applicator, and this actually twists so that it's kind of locked. No product will come out when it's locked, and then you twist it to allow it to squeeze. But it does have that little foam applicator on it, and that is the actual color of the corrector. So for my skin tone, this is absolutely perfect. I think they have a darker one too, but this is for just color correcting dark circles. So you need a peachy color to kind of counteract that deep darkness that some of us have. And I really like Benefit products as well, like the Benefit Boing is really good for correcting, but from the drugstore this one has just blown me away, just in terms of how well it covers, and the color match is so good, and also the way it feels. The texture of this is so lightweight and creamy, and it just sits on the skin so nicely. And when you're layering products under the eyes, that's what you want, because you do still go over it with concealer, and you don't want to be complete cake face putting so many products under your eye where it's already kind of delicate there. You want it to look smooth and wonderful, right? I'm kind of a high-end mascara junkie, but this year I found my ultimate drugstore mascara. And no, it is not L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I thought about including that one, and I do really like it. I think it gives you very voluminous lashes, but the bottle doesn't last as long as like the high-end counterpart, which I would say is kind of like Too Faced Better Than Sex would be the equal. It definitely gets clumpy way longer before Too Faced does. So that, to me, I couldn't include it totally in my favorites, even though I do like it. But this one, man, this is so good. This is the Essence Volume Stylish, I always say that, Stylist Lash Extension Mascara with lengthening fibers. So the fiber part is what makes this so great. This is what the brush looks like. As you can see, it's kind of short bristles. Sometimes right in the middle there at the widest part, it can get a little bit of product clumping up. If that is what happens, I just kind of go like this on the bottle and get any excess off before I apply it. But what makes this mascara so great is the fibers in it. And it just gives you the most length of any mascara I've ever tried because it has those fibers in it. Now, they don't fall off your eyes, they don't fall into your eyes. I know I hear that sometimes from people who have tried the two-step fiber formulas, you know, where you put the fibers on and then you put mascara on and you put fibers on and you put mascara on, who knows what they're doing. And those fall into your eyes, they give you kind of spider lashes. Because the fibers are actually in the formula, I have no issues with them falling out or looking weird or anything. This just gives me volume and length. If I'm not wearing false lashes, this is 100% of the time I will reach for this because it gives me the most length possible, which I really appreciate. Let's talk about eyeshadow, because the drugstore, well, let's just say affordable brands, really killed it this year with eyeshadow. And let's talk specifically about the one I went the most crazy over, which is Colourpop. I bought so many of these Colourpop pressed eyeshadows, both in single form. When they first launched, they came out just with the singles in pan form that you had to buy individually, and then they started coming out with palettes, and I have 4 palettes. They've released so many that honestly it's just so hard to keep up. Because if they were in the drugstore, I'd probably own all of them. You know, it would be in front of me and I would pick it up and I wouldn't be able to help myself. But because it's an online ordering kind of thing, at least I've been able to say, you know, cool your jets a little bit. The actual pressed powder formula that Colourpop has come out with this year is really outstanding. I would say there are definitely certain shades that will give you more powder kick up than others, but there are some shadows in here that high-end doesn't even do. Like, for example, this shade Glass Bowl is just so unique. It's like this duochrome purple red shifting gorgeousness. They've done purple so well. This one here I've talked about so much. I think it's in the shade, is it called 314? I think so. Just like a beautiful, like, look at the pigment on that. Purple matte eyeshadow, just so great. Again, a little bit of powderiness, a little bit of fallout, but I have high-end eyeshadows that do that, so it really doesn't bother me at all. Look at this like nice intense yellow shade right there. The individual shadows, I believe, are somewhere around $5 US a piece. Sometimes they go on sale, sometimes they go on deals. But what I really enjoy from Colourpop is the fact that they have now made all these different palettes for such affordable prices. Like, I think they're $16, these size here. That's $16 US for 12 eyeshadow pans in each one. That is an amazing, amazing price. So I've had fun with the My Little Pony palette here. This one is called I Think I Love You. Just a gorgeous, like, metallic but neutral palette, but so many gorgeous metallic shades in it. There's nothing lacking in these eyeshadows at all. They're just like really stunning. And then the Yes Please palette is what I'm wearing all over my eyes today. The entirety of this eye look is from this one palette, which this is honestly, like, I haven't used this palette as much as these other ones, but it's, as far as I can tell from using it just a handful of times, exactly the same quality. And this was just such a big deal palette this year. People went crazy over it. And then this one is called the Golden State of Mind, which went on, this is exclusive to Sephora when they started carrying Colourpop, and then it went on sale at Sephora recently. I don't know why people didn't like it. It is all shimmery shades though. Like, there's no mattes in here. I have a feeling that might be the reason why. But for the price to get, what is it, 15 shimmery eyeshadows is just so pretty. I wore this one all over my lid the other day. This is like a purple white shift. It's so gorgeous. So I don't want to spend any more time on the Colourpop thing, but I was just, as you can tell, overall really impressed with them this year. Another affordable brand that I would put right up there with my favorite high-end eyeshadows is BH Cosmetics. So both of these particular palettes here, this is the 28 color eyeshadow palette, the Foil Eyes, and this one is the 28 color eyeshadow palette Modern Mattes. So this is all matte, this is all foiled eyeshadows. They are all very colorful. I've talked about this one so much on my channel, so if you've heard it before, I'm sorry, but it just means that you know that I love it because I have talked about this to death this year. These are all foiled eyeshadows. They all are so ultra pigmented. They don't require a lot of building up. They just look so beautiful all over your eyes as lid shades. Here's just a random assortment of swatches from this palette. As you can tell, like, the quality is just stellar on these. They're amazingly beautiful, buttery, pigmented. Every good word you could say for an eyeshadow. And then the Modern Mattes is kind of the same thing, but all matte shades. I would say these maybe would require a little bit of building up, and they do have a little bit of a powderiness to them, but nothing that would turn me away from using them. I actually use this palette in my full face under 60. I use it for my eyebrows, I use it for contouring, I use it for my eyeshadow look. It was actually really versatile. Like even some of these shades here you can use for contouring, and it's fun to be able to have multi-use products like that are good quality. And then this just Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I did a whole video on this one too. It's just so much fun. Like, they're all these super bright, fun colors. You can just play around in makeup. It's just so much fun. I love the packaging on this one too. I don't have a ton of face products this go around from the drugstore, but the ones that I do have I really do like. So the one highlighter that I really like this year is the NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder. I have it in two shades. This one here is called Snow Rose. This one is Lavender Steel. Snow Rose is what I'm using today. So they are duochrome. This one is more of a pink-white shift. That's Snow Rose there, and then Lavender Steel is more of a pink-purple shift, obviously, because it's lavender. But it's just a little bit of something different. I really like Snow Rose for layering over top of blush because it kind of makes the blush, depending what you're putting underneath it, kind of pop in a different way than just a regular highlighter would. So these I thought were a lot of fun. The Makeup Revolution Vivid Bake blushes are really awesome if you like shimmery sheen, just gorgeous, like very shiny blushes. I'm wearing this one today, Make Love Instead. The one bad thing I would say about these is that this one has actually like completely separated from the pan. It's moving around in there, but I still really like them. They don't go on like clown face uber pigmented to begin with, which, you know, can sometimes be a problem if a blush is too pigmented, you know, because then it just becomes this, it's just too easy to go overboard, you know. Anyway, that one there is called Bang Bang You're Dead. That's more of a cool tone, pinky purple. You can tell just by that swatch what I mean. It doesn't go on super, super pigmented, but for a blush, to me, that's a good thing. And I love a sheeny, shimmery blush. There's no glitter in them. They're just like very intense sheen. Eyeliner. This is the year of drugstore liquid eyeliners for me. I'm wearing this one today. I've gone through a couple of these. This is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. So it's just called Matte Liquid Liner, no other special name. It's a brush tip, comes in this kind of pot form, so it comes out like this, and it's got this little brush tip on the end. What you get is just very black, very matte, does not transfer at all. I love that it's completely matte. This kind of brush though, if you're not used to doing wings and liquid liner, it can take a little getting used to because it's so pliable that you kind of have to figure out how to control it. Once you get it, and it's cool, but for a beginner it might be a little bit more difficult. So if you're a beginner, I would suggest going with a pen type form. This one is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster in the shade Ultra Black. Black is not black, it's gray. Ultra Black is black. And then this one has the actual pen form right there, which makes it super easy to just draw on a wing. Sometimes what I even do, even now, if I'm just like having one of those days where I'm not confident in my skills, I'll use this kind of all over the lash line, and then I'll just go in with this on the edge to actually do my wing because it's a little bit easier. And this one is drying out actually. Just realized it's probably time for a new one, but anyway, there it is there. The only thing I would say is that it's not quite as black as the NYX, and also it's a little bit shiny. So if you don't like shiny black liner, you know, you have to go with something like a gel liner or like this NYX one. But anyway, I still really love the Physicians Formula one just because it's so easy to use, and once you get it on there, like, it's budge proof. At some point during the year, I actually put this product in a disappointing products video because of the shade range. Now, once I went, okay, let me just get into it. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is in the shade 10, Fair Light. I'm not Fair Light. Am I? No, I'm not Fair Light, and neither is this powder. This powder is more of a light medium, and that's my whole issue with it. So originally I had bought, I think, the shade Light. I don't even think it was Fair Light. I think I bought Light. It was number 15 anyway, and it was so dark. And this one here, number 10, is like my shade. So depending on who you are and what shade you are, you're gonna have to be really careful when you select your shade in this, and you definitely probably want to go down a shade for sure. I don't know what they were thinking when they put this shade range together, because it really doesn't make a lot of sense, and I really still am annoyed that I wasted my money on that other one. But in the long run, it's okay. I used this one today under my eyes to set my eyes and bake, and I also used it just to set my foundation all over my entire face. And I do think it's really good as a setting powder, and it's good as an under eye powder. It doesn't do for me the same things like the Laura Mercier powder does, which I find it like super brightening under the eye and very, very smooth. I feel like this one is not quite as smooth, but it's still a really good option from the drugstore. Okay, one drugstore tool that I think is so great. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Sponge. I believe it's called the Blending Sponge. This is all puffed up with water. This is a very new one. I've only used this one once before. This sponge, I like it even better than a beauty blender. Like, it's so soft, and I really love the shape of it better than a beauty blender. I like that you still get the point, and I like that you have more flat side, whereas, you know, the beauty blender is just more of a teardrop shape. You don't have as much area here to work with, but this just works just as good. It's so good. I do find that these get a little bit more, like, they get more rips and tears faster than a beauty blender would. But then again, it's been a while since I actually owned a regular beauty blender, and I had two at once back when I did have one. So maybe I shouldn't say that, but it's just a little caveat. Try it for yourself, see if you like it, see if it lasts as long as you want it to. I love it, it's so great. Okay, lashes. I'm wearing some today. These are the Ardell Foaming Lashes. I've got 4 different pairs here. Like, I love these so much. They are cheap, for one. I hate spending $20, $30 on a pair of lashes. I get it. Like, some of them are absolutely gorgeous, and some people want to spend their money that way. Totally fine with me. But these, I would rather spend $10 on a pair of beautiful lashes. But these ones here are a brand new, fresh pair of 812s. These are what I'm wearing on my eyes today. They're wispy, they're beautiful, they mimic fake lashes. For those of you that are cruelty-free, I think they would be a really wonderful option for you. Again, the price factor is so huge when it comes to lashes. I've used each one of these pairs, well, obviously not these, but the ones that I have used, I keep reusing them. Like, they don't fall apart. They last a very long time. And I've had other pairs, like these are not the only pairs. I probably have other pairs still right now in my collection somewhere. They last a really, really long time. I don't think I have thrown away any yet, actually. I just keep using them and cleaning them and reusing them. So way back when I started my channel is kind of around the time that Colourpop started gaining a lot of popularity with their ultra matte lips. And I bought a bunch of them. I absolutely hated them. I think they dry your lips out like no other, and I ended up decluttering pretty much all of them, I think, out of my collection. So when Colourpop came out with their new Ultra Satin Lips, I didn't really jump on board right away. But when I started buying all the eyeshadows, I kind of started adding one here and there to my cart. So far this year I've ended up with this many. I have 5. I believe that's it, although last time I showed you guys these I forgot about some. So anyway, these aren't the kind of liquid lipstick that dry down to a super matte transfer proof finish. These are satins, so they will still have a slight bit of shine to them, and they definitely are not transfer proof. They will transfer if you drink coffee or a drink or kiss somebody, but then again, they're still going to last for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours without having to reapply them, because they're, you know, that kind of formula that dries down and has longevity but is not fully transfer proof. For me, honestly, that's the kind I prefer. I just prefer one that doesn't dry down because it's all about comfort. It's about the comfort factor. This is my favorite out of all of them. This is called Little Stitches. If you're a fan of The Office, you'll get it. I love this color. It's super flattering. A little bit of a cool tone nude. This one here is really fun. This is called Chandelier. This is a little bit more of a warm tone nude. They have, you know, doe foot applicator. Colourpop just has every color under the rainbow for pretty much every product they offer, so you know you're gonna find something you like. This one is called the Rabbit, which I loved in the summer. It's such a beautiful bright fuchsia, but I just really love the formula of these, and I'm just going to continue to buy them, add to my collection of Ultra Satin lipsticks. Now for a liquid lipstick that is matte and is fully transfer proof and is also still comfortable, let's talk about these. These are the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit liquid lipsticks. Yes, I love them. I have so many, and one of my friends just gave me 3 more. So I have just, my collection has boomed with these. Today I'm wearing Nudist Peach. This is what's on my lips right now. I really love the packaging of them. It's that really nice acrylic packaging that has that kind of ballerina slipper style applicator where it's kind of got a scoop in it, and it really fits your lips really well. So some of these are going to be a little bit streakier than others, just so you know. They're not all created equal. Some of them are a little bit more opaque, but they are all comfortable and they all do last all day. Now with something like this, I do find after a couple hours it might get a little crumbly in here and I might want to reapply it. It is not like the most foolproof product I've ever put on, but when you do reapply it, it sits beautifully on the lips. It doesn't look weird at all. In something that's a little bit darker, for example, like this one here, this one is called Nice to Fuchsia. I don't have any issues at all with this one crumbling away or any streakiness or really any issues at all with it. Some of them you do have to baby a little bit more than others, but nothing to the extent that you're gonna be going throughout your day and look in the mirror and go, ugh, I haven't been paying attention and I look like a hag. Like there's nothing weird going on with these. They're still across the board really good products. They're going to last all day and they're not going to transfer at all. See? Alright you guys, that's it. That is it for all of my 2017 drugstore favorites. As you can tell, it was a good year. The drugstore did some really amazing things this year. I've been to the drugstore in 2018 so far, and there are a whole lot of new releases. I picked up a few things already that I really want to test out for my channel. So I know people have said lately, I've heard it a lot, drugstore pricing is getting up there, and it is true. But then again, at the same time, drugstore makeup is getting better and better, and they often go on sale way more often than high-end makeup. So there's still a lot of really good things about drugstore makeup. So let me know, what is your favorite drugstore product of the year? Is it one of these? Is it something I totally missed and has gone under my radar? I should say, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, oh well, these are things that I discovered in 2017. So there's tons of other drugstore makeup that is awesome that has made it into previous favorites videos of mine, but this is just stuff that I discovered that was new to me in 2017, not necessarily new to the drugstore. So let me know, what are your favorite drugstore products of the year down below, and if I need to go run out and buy some new stuff, I definitely will. So that's it for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're speaking kindly to yourself. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.